The vast expanse of space had long been the playground of the Zarkonian Empire. For millennia, they had explored, conquered, and assimilated countless species across the galaxy. Their superior technology and evolved intellect had made them the undisputed masters of all they surveyed. That is, until they encountered the curiosity known as humanity. High Admiral Zexlor stood on the bridge of the Zarkonian flagship, the Celestial Dominator, his 4 eyes fixed on the holographic display of a small blue-green planet rotating slowly before him. Earth, as the inhabitants called it, was an unremarkable world on the fringes of the galaxy. And yet something about this planet and its inhabitants had piqued the interest of the Zarkonian Science Council. "Status report," Zexlor commanded, his voice a low, harmonious hum that reverberated through the ship's command center. Sub-Commander Vixera approached, her tentacles rippling with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "High Admiral, our long-range scans have detected numerous artificial satellites orbiting the planet, as well as primitive space stations. The species appears to have achieved rudimentary space travel, but they are confined to their own solar system." Zexlor's upper eyes narrowed while his lower pair widened, a sign of both intrigue and dismissal in Zarkonian body language. "Hardly impressive. What makes these humans worthy of our attention?" Vixera's skin shifted to a deeper shade of blue, indicating her enthusiasm. "It's their rate of technological advancement, sir. Our historical analysis shows that they have progressed from simple tool use to space exploration in less than 10,000 years. It's unprecedented." The High Admiral's tentacles coiled tightly against his body, a gesture of surprise. "Impossible. No species could evolve that quickly." "And yet, the data is irrefutable," Vixera insisted. "The Science Council believes that studying these humans could provide valuable insights into accelerated evolution and technological development." Zexlor contemplated this information, his lower eyes pulsing with rapid calculations. After a moment of silence, he made his decision. "Very well. Prepare a first contact protocol. We shall reveal ourselves to these humans and assess their potential and their threat level." As the Celestial Dominator approached Earth's orbit, the ship's advanced cloaking technology kept it hidden from the primitive human detection systems. Zexlor watched with mild amusement as the planet's government scrambled to make sense of the unusual readings their instruments were picking up. "Initiate the reveal sequence," he ordered. With a shimmer of energy, the massive Zarkonian vessel materialized in Earth's sky, its sleek, organic form a stark contrast to the angular human satellites it dwarfed. Across the planet, millions of humans gazed up in awe and fear at the alien ship that had suddenly appeared. Within minutes, the ship's communication systems crackled to life as human governments attempted to establish contact. Zexlor allowed a small tendril of satisfaction to curl through his mind. The protocol was proceeding as expected. "Open a channel to their primary governing body," he commanded. The ship's AI quickly identified the United Nations as the closest thing to a global human authority and established a link. On the main view screen, the image of the UN Secretary-General appeared, her face a mixture of wonder and determination. "Greetings, visitors from the stars," she began, her voice steady despite the momentous occasion. "On behalf of humanity, I welcome you to Earth. We come in peace and hope for a friendly exchange of knowledge and culture." Zexlor's upper eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of mild amusement. These humans were certainly bold, addressing them as equals despite their obvious technological inferiority. "I am High Admiral Zexlor of the Zarkonian Empire," he responded, his words automatically translated into Earth's major languages. "We have come to study your species and assess your potential. Your rapid advancement has caught our attention." The Secretary-General's expression shifted subtly, a change that didn't escape Zexlor's notice. "We are honored by your interest, High Admiral. Humanity has always been driven by curiosity and the desire to understand the universe around us. We would be glad to share our knowledge and learn from you in return." Zexlor's tentacles rippled with skepticism. Your enthusiasm is noted. However, you must understand that in the grand tapestry of the galaxy, your species is but a newcomer. There is much you have yet to comprehend. A flicker of something, pride perhaps, crossed the human's face. With all due respect, High Admiral, while we may be young as a spacefaring species, we have faced and overcome countless challenges. We are quick learners and adaptable. We look forward to proving our worth. The High Admiral's lower eyes pulsed rapidly, processing this unexpected response. These humans were either remarkably confident or dangerously naive. Either way, it would require careful observation. Very well, Zexlor replied. We shall begin with a cultural exchange. Prepare your leaders and brightest minds. A delegation from our ship will arrive on your planet in one rotation of your world. We expect full cooperation and transparency. The Secretary-General nodded, her posture straightening almost imperceptibly. We will be ready, High Admiral. May this be the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship between our peoples. As the communication ended, Zexlor turned to Vixara, his skin rippling with a complex mix of emotions. Prepare the first contact team. I want our best xenobiologists, cultural analysts, and security personnel. These humans are intriguing. We must learn everything we can about them. Vixara's tentacles twisted in acknowledgement. Yes, High Admiral. And what of our secondary protocols? Zexlor's upper eyes narrowed. Keep them on standby. If these humans prove to be a threat or possess knowledge that could upset the balance of power in the galaxy, we must be prepared to take more decisive action. As the celestial dominator hung in Earth's orbit, its crew busy with preparations for the upcoming encounter, Zexlor couldn't shake the feeling that this seemingly insignificant planet might hold more surprises than they had anticipated. The humans' confidence bordered on arrogance, a trait that had led to the downfall of many species before them. Little did the Zarkonians know that this first contact would set in motion a chain of events that would challenge everything they thought they knew about their place in the universe. The stage was set for a clash of civilizations, and humanity was about to show the galaxy why they were a force to be reckoned with. The challenge. The dawn broke over a changed Earth. Overnight, humanity had gone from believing they were alone in the universe to facing the reality of an advanced alien civilization. As the Zarkonian delegation prepared to make landfall, the planet buzzed with a mixture of excitement, fear, and determination. High Admiral Zexlor observed the planet's surface from the Celestial Dominator's observation deck. His lower eyes pulsed rapidly, processing the influx of data from their initial scans. Fascinating, he muttered. Their cities are so chaotic. How do they function with such inefficiency? Sub-Commander Vixara floated beside him, her tentacles rippling with anticipation. Perhaps there is a method to their madness, sir. Our cultural analysts suggest that human unpredictability might be one of their greatest strengths. Zexcor's upper eyes narrowed skeptically. We shall see. Prepare the landing party. It's time we got a closer look at these humans. The Zarkonian shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere, its sleek, organic form a stark contrast to the angular human aircraft that escorted it. As they approached the landing site, a hastily prepared area in front of the United Nations headquarters in New York, Zexlor could see the masses of humans gathered to witness this historic moment. The shuttle touched down with barely a whisper, its advanced technology making the landing seem almost magical to human eyes. As the door opened and the ramp extended, Zexlor led his delegation out into the bright sunlight of Earth. The silence was palpable. Thousands of humans held their breath as they got their first close-up look at the alien visitors. Zexlor's four eyes scanned the crowd, noting the myriad of emotions playing across their faces. Fear, awe, curiosity, and something else. A glint of defiance that he found both intriguing and unsettling. The Secretary-General stepped forward, flanked by a diverse group of Earth's leaders and top scientists. High Admiral Zexlor, she greeted, her voice carrying across the hushed crowd. On behalf of humanity, welcome to Earth. Zexlor's tentacles rippled in acknowledgement. "We are pleased to be here," he replied, the universal translator conveying his words in multiple languages simultaneously. "We look forward to learning more about your species." As the formal greetings concluded, Zexlor turned to address the assembled crowd. "People of Earth," he began, his voice resonating with authority. "The Zarkonian Empire has watched your rapid advancement with great interest. Now we wish to see firsthand what you are capable of. We have prepared a series of challenges to test your abilities and determine your place in the galactic community." A murmur rippled through the crowd. The Secretary General's brow furrowed slightly. "Challenges, High Admiral. We were under the impression this would be a cultural exchange." Zexlor's upper eyes blinked in sequence, a gesture of amusement. "Indeed it is, Secretary General. But surely you understand that in the vastness of space, every species must prove its worth. These challenges will help us understand your true potential." The human leaders exchanged glances, a silent communication that didn't escape Zexlor's notice. Finally, the Secretary General nodded. "Very well. We accept your challenges. What is the nature of these tests?" Vixera stepped forward, her skin shimmering with excitement. "We have prepared 3 trials," she explained. "A test of intellect, a test of adaptability, and a test of resolve. Each will push your species to its limits and beyond." The first challenge was set to begin immediately. In the heart of New York City, a massive holographic puzzle appeared, hovering above the streets. Intricate patterns of light and energy twisted and shifted, forming a complex, multidimensional problem that even the Zarkonians' most advanced AI took hours to solve. "Your task," Zexlor announced, "is to solve this puzzle within 24 of your Earth hours. This will test your problem-solving skills and your ability to think in higher dimensions." The human scientists and mathematicians immediately set to work, their faces etched with concentration. Zexlor watched with mild amusement, certain that the primitive humans would be stumped by such an advanced concept. But as the hours ticked by, something unexpected happened. The humans didn't work in isolation, as the Zarkonians had anticipated. Instead, they formed a global network, sharing ideas and insights across continents. Mathematicians collaborated with artists, physicists consulted with musicians, and children offered perspectives that adults had overlooked. 18 hours into the challenge, a breakthrough came from an unlikely source. A team of human teenagers, working with a retired quantum physicist and a graffiti artist, cracked the central theorem of the puzzle. Their solution spread rapidly through the global network, and within minutes, the entire holographic construct began to shift and reform. Zexlor's tentacles coiled tightly against his body in shock as the puzzle solved itself, collapsing into a simple, elegant shape that hovered serenely above the city. The humans had not only solved the puzzle but had done so in a way that the Zarkonians had never considered. "Impossible," Vixera whispered, her skin paling to a light blue of disbelief. The Secretary General approached, a hint of pride in her smile. "High Admiral, it seems we have completed your first challenge. Shall we proceed to the next?" Zexlor's lower eyes pulsed rapidly, reassessing his evaluation of the humans. "Indeed," he replied, keeping his tone neutral. "But do not let this small victory go to your heads. The next challenges will not be so easily overcome." As the Zarkonian delegation retreated to prepare for the next trial, Zexlor couldn't shake a growing sense of unease. These humans were proving to be far more capable than anyone had anticipated. For the first time in his long career, he found himself wondering if the Zarkonian Empire had underestimated a species. The second challenge was already being set up, a test of adaptability that would push human physiology and technology to their limits. But as Zexlor watched the humans celebrate their first victory, he realized that this encounter might not go as smoothly as he had originally planned. In the depths of the Celestial Dominator, the secondary protocols that Zexlor had mentioned earlier began to power up, their systems humming with potential energy. The High Admiral hoped they wouldn't be necessary, but he was beginning to suspect that humanity might force his hand. As night fell over Earth, both humans and Zarkonians prepared for the trials ahead. The stage was set for a contest that would determine not just humanity's place in the galaxy, but perhaps the future of the Zarkonian Empire itself. And unbeknownst to either side, ancient forces were stirring, drawn by the clash of these two civilizations on the edge of the cosmic frontier. Provocation. The second challenge set forth by the Zarkonians was a test of adaptability, designed to push human physiology and technology to their limits. As dawn broke over the testing grounds, a massive, artificially created biome that spanned several miles of what was once Central Park, both humans and aliens alike held their breath in anticipation. High Admiral Zexlor stood at the edge of the arena, his 4 eyes scanning the assembled human team. "Your task," he announced, his voice carrying across the silent crowd, "is to traverse this environment and reach the central point." The catch: the environment will shift and change, presenting new challenges every step of the way. "You have 12 hours. The Secretary General nodded grimly. "We understand, High Admiral. Our team is ready." As the human participants entered the arena, Zexlor turned to Sub-Commander Vixera. "Ensure that the difficulty is appropriate," he said, his tentacles coiling with anticipation. "We must push them to their absolute limits." Vixera's skin rippled with concern. "Sir, some members of the Science Council have expressed reservations about the intensity of this test. They fear we may be pushing too hard." Zexlor's upper eyes narrowed. "Your concern is noted, Sub-Commander. But we must know what these humans are truly capable of. Proceed as planned." As the challenge began, the humans found themselves facing a series of rapidly changing environments. One moment they were scaling steep cliffs, the next wading through deep swamps. Searing deserts gave way to freezing tundras in the blink of an eye. The Zarkonians watched in fascination as the humans adapted to each new challenge. What impressed Zexlor most was not just the physical prowess of the humans, but their ingenuity. They fashioned tools from the environment, worked in seamless teams, and came up with solutions that the Zarkonians had never considered. When faced with a seemingly impassable chasm, one human suggested using vines to create a makeshift bridge, a solution so simple yet effective that it left the alien observers stunned. As the hours ticked by, the Zarkonian controllers, under Zexlor's orders, increased the difficulty. The environmental shifts became more extreme, the challenges more dangerous. Several humans were injured, but they pressed on, their determination unwavering. It was during one of these extreme shifts that disaster struck. As the ground beneath the humans' feet transformed from solid earth to treacherous quicksand, one of the participants, a young scientist named Dr. Emily Chen, found herself sinking rapidly. The Zarkonian safety protocols, designed for their own physiology, failed to recognize the danger. Without hesitation, the other humans sprang into action. Disregarding their own safety, they formed a human chain, reaching out to Dr. Chen. The world watched in tense silence as they struggled to pull her free, their efforts a testament to human solidarity in the face of adversity. Zexlor, watching from the control room, felt a strange sensation ripple through his tentacles. It was something he had rarely experienced in his long life. Doubt. "Abort the test," he commanded suddenly. Vixera turned to him in surprise. "Sir, I said abort." Zexlor's voice boomed. "Stabilize the environment immediately." As the Zarkonian controllers scrambled to comply, the humans managed to pull Dr. Chen to safety. The arena stabilized, and a stunned silence fell over both humans and aliens alike. The Secretary General, her face etched with a mixture of relief and anger, strode towards Zexlor. "High Admiral," she said, her voice tight with controlled fury. "I believe we need to have a serious discussion about the nature of these tests." Zexlor's lower eyes pulsed rapidly, processing the unexpected turn of events. "Indeed," he replied, his voice uncharacteristically subdued. "Perhaps we have miscalculated." As the human participants were tended to by medical teams, tension filled the air. The near tragedy had shaken both sides, and the fragile trust between humans and Zarkonians was hanging by a thread. It was in this charged atmosphere that a faction within the Zarkonian delegation saw an opportunity. Led by the ambitious sub-commander Karzik, they believed that the human show of strength and adaptability posed a potential threat to Zarkonian supremacy. Karzik approached Zexlor, his tentacles writhing with barely contained agitation. "High Admiral," he began, his voice low and urgent, "surely you see now the danger these humans pose. Their unpredictability, their resourcefulness, they could upset the balance of power in the galaxy. We must take action before it's too late." Zexlor's upper eyes narrowed, considering Karzik's words. The High Admiral found himself at a crossroads. On one hand, the humans had shown remarkable abilities that could potentially benefit the Empire. On the other, their rapid advancement and unconventional problem-solving could indeed pose a threat if left unchecked. Before Zexlor could respond, alarms blared across the Zarkonian systems. Vixera rushed to a nearby console, her skin paling to a light blue of shock. "High Admiral," she called out, her voice tight with urgency, "we're detecting unauthorized access to our primary database. Someone is attempting to download classified information about our technology and star charts." Zexlor's tentacles coiled tightly against his body. "Impossible. Our systems are impenetrable to human technology." Karzik's eyes flashed triumphantly. "You see, they're already moving against us. We must strike now, while we have the advantage." In the chaos that followed, a series of misunderstandings and hasty decisions led to a rapidly escalating situation. Karzik, seizing the moment, ordered a small contingent of Zarkonian security forces to secure key human facilities for the Empire's protection. As Zarkonian troops materialized in the heart of New York, Washington, D.C., and other major cities around the world, humanity reacted with alarm and defiance. Military forces were mobilized, and the tenuous peace between the two species teetered on the brink of all-out war. Zexlor, realizing the gravity of the situation, attempted to regain control. "Stand down," he commanded, but the wheels of conflict had already been set in motion. It was in this moment of crisis that humanity revealed its true potential. As Zarkonian forces advanced, they found themselves facing not just military opposition, but a united human front that defied all expectations. Civilian hackers, working in tandem with government cybersecurity teams, launched a counter-offensive against Zarkonian systems. Their unorthodox methods and sheer creativity allowed them to bypass alien defenses that had been thought impenetrable. On the ground, human military and law enforcement agencies demonstrated levels of coordination and adaptability that caught the Zarkonians off guard. Ordinary citizens joined the effort, using everything from social media to improvised tools to disrupt the alien incursion. As the conflict escalated, both sides realized that this confrontation would define the future relationship between humanity and the Zarkonian Empire. The stage was set for a showdown that would reveal once and for all why provoking humans was a grave mistake. Zexlor, watching the chaos unfold, felt a sensation he had never experienced before. Fear. Not just fear of defeat, but fear of the unknown. For the first time in the history of the Zarkonian Empire, they faced an opponent whose potential they could not fully comprehend. As reports flooded in of human victories across the globe, Zexlor made a decision that would alter the course of galactic history. "Prepare my personal shuttle," he commanded. "It's time I spoke to the human leaders directly. This madness must end before it's too late." With tensions at their peak and the fate of both species hanging in the balance, the true test of humanity's place in the cosmos was about to begin. The galaxy watched with bated breath, knowing that the outcome of this conflict would reshape the cosmic order for millennia to come. The tables turn. As High Admiral Zexlor's personal shuttle descended towards the emergency UN session in Geneva, the world below was a chaotic tapestry of conflict and resistance. Streams of data flowed through the ship's systems, painting a picture of a battle that defied all Zarkonian military doctrine. In New York, a group of students had repurposed the city's vast network of underground tunnels to outmaneuver Zarkonian forces. In Tokyo, elderly tech pioneers had come out of retirement to lead a devastating cyber assault on alien communication networks. And in a small town in Kenya, local farmers had ingeniously used their knowledge of the land to trap and disable a Zarkonian scout ship. Vixara, monitoring the situation from the Celestial Dominator, couldn't hide the awe in her voice as she reported to Zexlor. "High Admiral, I've never seen anything like this. The humans, they're not fighting as a conventional military force. Every citizen, every child even, seems to be part of their defense strategy." Zexlor's lower eyes pulsed rapidly, processing the information. "It appears we have gravely underestimated their capacity for unity and innovation," he replied, a note of respect creeping into his voice. As the shuttle touched down in Geneva, Zexlor was met not with hostility, but with a steely determination that radiated from every human present. The Secretary General stood at the forefront, her posture unyielding. "High Admiral," she began, her voice carrying across the tense silence, "I hope you've come to put an end to this unprovoked aggression." Zexlor's tentacles rippled with a complex mix of emotions. "Secretary General, there has been a grave misunderstanding. Rogue elements within our delegation acted without authority. I am here to negotiate a ceasefire and find a peaceful resolution." But before discussions could begin, the conference room screens flared to life. Sub-Commander Karzik's face filled the displays, his eyes pulsing with manic energy. "Citizens of Earth," Karzik's voice boomed, "your resistance is futile. Even now, our main fleet approaches your solar system. Surrender now or face complete annihilation." A gasp rippled through the human delegates. Zexlor's upper eyes narrowed in fury. "Karzik, you fool. Stand down immediately." But Karzik merely laughed. "It's too late, Zexlor. I've assumed command of the fleet. The Empire will thank me when I present them with a subjugated Earth." As the transmission cut off, a tense silence fell over the room. The Secretary General turned to Zexlor, her eyes blazing. "Is this true? Is your fleet on its way?" Zexlor's skin paled to a light blue of dismay. "It's true that our main fleet is nearby, but I never authorized this invasion. Karzik has gone rogue, but he's right about one thing. Your planet stands little chance against the full might of our armada." The room erupted into panicked discussions, but amidst the chaos, a calm voice cut through the noise. Dr. Emily Chen, the scientist who had nearly lost her life in the Zarkonian challenge, stepped forward. "Perhaps not alone," she said, her voice steady. "But High Admiral, you've seen what we can do. You've witnessed our adaptability, our creativity. Give us access to your technology, and we'll show you what humanity is truly capable of." Zexlor hesitated, his tentacles coiling in indecision. Sharing advanced Zarkonian technology with the humans went against everything he had been taught. But as he looked around the room, seeing the determination in every human face, he made a decision that would alter the course of galactic history. "Very well," he said, his voice resonating with newfound resolve. "Let us face this threat together." What followed was a whirlwind of activity that left even the Zarkonians stunned. Human scientists and engineers worked alongside their alien counterparts, absorbing centuries of advanced knowledge in a matter of hours. The convergence of human ingenuity and Zarkonian technology yielded innovations that neither species had thought possible. In orbit, the crew of the International Space Station worked tirelessly to adapt Zarkonian shield technology to protect the planet. On the ground, a global network of hackers prepared to wage digital warfare on a scale never before seen. As Karzik's fleet entered the solar system, they expected to find a primitive planet ripe for conquest. Instead, they were met with a formidable defense that combined the best of both human and Zarkonian capabilities. The battle that ensued would be spoken of for generations to come. Human pilots, their reflexes honed by years of video games and simulations, took control of Zarkonian fighters, pulling off maneuvers that the aliens had thought impossible. On the digital front, Earth's hackers ran circles around the invasion fleet's cyber defenses, sowing chaos and confusion among the attackers. But it was the human trait of thinking outside the box that truly turned the tide. A team led by Dr. Chen had discovered a way to use the Zarkonians' own faster-than-light technology to create localized space-time distortions. As Karzik's ships pressed their attack, they suddenly found themselves ensnared in bubbles of warped space-time, their fearsome weapons rendered useless. From the bridge of the Celestial Dominator, now working in tandem with Earth's defense forces, Zexlor watched in awe as humanity demonstrated why they were a force to be reckoned with. Ships that had been the pride of the Zarkonian fleet were being outmaneuvered by retrofitted human vessels. Weapons that could devastate entire planets were being countered by hastily constructed defenses born of human creativity. As the battle reached its crescendo, Dr. Chen's voice crackled over the command channel. "We're ready, High Admiral. On your command, we'll activate the final phase." Zexlor's 4 eyes focused on the main view screen, where Karzik's flagship hung ominously. In that moment, he felt a sense of clarity he had never experienced before. This was more than just a battle. It was the dawn of a new era in the galaxy. "Proceed, Dr. Chen," he commanded, his voice steady. What happened next would be debated by scholars and military strategists for centuries to come. In a dazzling display of energy, Karzik's entire fleet was enveloped in a massive space-time bubble. When the light faded, the invasion force was gone, transported to the far reaches of the galaxy. As cheers erupted across Earth and on the Celestial Dominator, Zexlor felt a profound shift in his understanding of the universe. Humanity had not just defended itself, it had done so in a way that challenged everything the Zarkonians thought they knew about warfare, technology, and the nature of intelligence itself. The battle was over, but its implications were only beginning to unfold. As the adrenaline of victory faded, both humans and Zarkonians alike realized that the galaxy would never be the same. The legend of humanity's indomitable spirit and their victory against overwhelming odds would spread across the stars, a testament to why humans should never be underestimated or provoked. In the aftermath of the battle, as the people of Earth celebrated their unlikely victory, Zexlor and the Secretary General stood side by side, gazing at the stars that now held new promise and new challenges. "What happens now?" the Secretary General asked, her voice a mix of exhaustion and hope. Zexlor's tentacles rippled thoughtfully. "Now, Secretary General, we forge a new path together. The galaxy awaits, and I have a feeling humanity will change it in ways we can scarcely imagine." As dawn broke over a united Earth, the first chapter of humanity's cosmic adventure came to a close. But in many ways, their journey was just beginning. The stars beckoned, and humanity, having proven their worth beyond all doubt, was ready to answer the call. A new understanding. In the months following the battle that came to be known as the Celestial Stand, Earth underwent a transformation unlike anything in human history. The integration of Zarkonian technology with human innovation sparked a renaissance that touched every aspect of society. Cities began to evolve, incorporating organic Zarkonian architecture that seemed to breathe and shift with the needs of its inhabitants. Transportation networks were revolutionized by localized wormhole technology, turning once impossible commutes into mere steps through shimmering portals. But it wasn't just Earth that was changing. The ripples of humanity's unexpected victory spread across the galaxy, shaking the very foundations of the Zarkonian Empire. High Admiral Zexlor stood before the Galactic Council, his 4 eyes scanning the assembled representatives of countless alien civilizations. The chamber, usually a place of staid diplomacy, buzzed with an energy that hadn't been felt in millennia. "Esteemed members of the Council," Zexlor began, his voice carrying the weight of recent events, "I come before you today to propose something unprecedented in the history of our empire. I move that we extend an offer of full alliance and membership to the species known as humans." A murmur rippled through the chamber. An elder counselor, his skin a deep purple of skepticism, raised a tentacle. "High Admiral, surely you jest. These humans, while admittedly resourceful, are mere infants on the galactic stage. How can we consider them equals?" Zexlor's upper eyes narrowed, a gesture that silenced the chamber. "Counselor, I have seen firsthand what these infants are capable of. In a matter of days, they absorbed centuries of our knowledge and used it in ways we never imagined. Their creativity, their adaptability, their sheer determination, these are qualities that could propel our entire civilization to new heights." As debates raged in the Galactic Council, back on Earth, humanity was grappling with its newfound place in the cosmos. In a sprawling complex that seamlessly blended human and Zarkonian architecture, the United Nations had convened a special session to discuss the path forward. Dr. Emily Chen, now heading Earth's new Department of Xenotechnology, addressed the assembly. "We stand at a crossroads," she began, her voice calm but filled with purpose. "For centuries, we dreamed of reaching the stars. Now we find ourselves not just among them, but poised to become key players in a galactic civilization. The question before us is not whether we will join the galactic community, but how we will shape it." The Secretary General nodded, then turned to address the Zarkonian delegation, led by Sub-Commander Vixera. "We are grateful for the knowledge and technology you've shared with us, but we hope you understand that we cannot simply be absorbed into your empire. Humanity has its own destiny to forge." Vixera's skin rippled with a complex mix of emotions. "We understand, Secretary General. In fact, that is precisely why High Admiral Zexlor is proposing a new type of alliance, not one of conqueror and conquered, but of true equals. Your unique perspectives and abilities could help us solve problems that have plagued our civilization for eons." As discussions continued on Earth and in the far reaches of space, a new galactic order began to take shape. The alliance between humans and Zarkonians became a model for interspecies cooperation, inspiring other civilizations to seek more egalitarian relationships. Humanity's insatiable curiosity and drive to explore led to a new age of discovery. Human Zarkonian expeditions ventured into uncharted regions of space, making groundbreaking discoveries and establishing contact with species long thought to be mythical. 1 year after the Celestial Stand, a ceremony was held in the newly constructed Unity Plaza in Geneva. Representatives from Earth and the Zarkonian Empire, along with delegates from a dozen other alien civilizations, gathered to sign the Galactic Concordat, a document that would redefine interstellar relations for millennia to come. As High Admiral Zexlor and the Secretary General jointly activated the quantum-entangled signature matrix, cheers erupted not just from the crowd in Geneva, but from billions of beings across the galaxy watching the broadcast. In the aftermath of the ceremony, Zexlor found a quiet moment with Dr. Chen, who had become a key figure in human-Zarkonian relations. "Did you ever imagine it would turn out like this?" Dr. Chen asked, gazing up at the stars now visible through the transparent dome of Unity Plaza. Zexlor's tentacles rippled with amusement. "Never in my longest dreams, Dr. Chen. Your species has taught us a valuable lesson, one that I fear we had forgotten over our long history." "And what's that?" Chen inquired. "That true strength lies not in domination, but in collaboration. That diversity, of thought, of approach, of biology, is not a weakness to be homogenized, but a strength to be celebrated." Zexlor's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a gesture Chen had come to recognize as deep contemplation. "You humans, with your brief lives and your burning curiosity, see possibilities where we saw only established facts. You dream in ways we had forgotten how to." Dr. Chen smiled, a mixture of pride and humility in her expression. "And you've given us the means to turn those dreams into reality. Together, there's no telling what we might achieve." As they stood there, a shooting star streaked across the sky. Not a natural phenomenon, but a Zarkonian ship using human-modified FTL technology, pushing the boundaries of known space. It was a fitting symbol for the new era dawning across the galaxy. The legend of humanity's stand against the Zarkonian Empire grew with each passing year, spreading to the farthest reaches of the cosmos. It became a cautionary tale, whispered in the halls of power on 1,000 worlds. Beware the humans, for they are not to be underestimated. Provoke them at your peril, for in their ingenuity and determination lies a force that can reshape the very stars. But more than that, it became a story of hope, a testament to the idea that in the vast, often cold expanse of the universe, unexpected alliances could form, bridging gaps of biology, culture, and understanding. That when faced with challenges that seemed insurmountable, the combined strengths of diverse peoples could achieve the impossible. As humanity took its first true steps into the galactic community, they carried with them not just their dreams and their determination, but a promise to face whatever the cosmos might throw at them with creativity, adaptability, and an unwavering spirit. The galaxy would never be the same, and the adventure was only just beginning. In the end, the Zarkonians had sought to test humanity's worth. Instead, they had discovered a truth as old as the stars themselves, that in the crucible of adversity, the human spirit shines brightest. And that light, now unleashed upon the galaxy, would illuminate paths to a future grander than any single species could have imagined. The cosmic dance continued, with humanity now an integral part of its intricate choreography. And across the vast expanse of space, a message resonated clear and strong. The children of Earth had arrived, ready to take their place among the stars.